I went to MetroCon. It was my first convention ever and it was super banger. The entire story of how I got here, I wish it was an easy, hey, let's go to MetroCon. No. The story went like, hey, my cousin's going to Metro. You want anything? Yeah, let me think. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna make a group chat. Hi. You have OCs. You do art. Wow, you do art fight. Oh my gosh, why don't you go to MetroCon with me? Huh? And here we are. And then I dragged my cousin with me. So when I went there, it was like, dang, I saw so many cosplays that I recognized. And like, keep in mind, this was my first convention and I was only used to seeing it in videos. So I didn't know like the grand scale of things. But like, Jesus Christ, I could barely handle MetroCon. I don't know how I'd handle AX. So I know most people here are wanting to see the hall, so I'll be going over that too. My budget in hopes was like 300, maybe 200. Like, you live once. I'll also be crediting the artists if I remember who they were. One of my biggest regrets was treating MetroCon like a flea market low-key where I like grab and go. I mean, I did stop sometimes to talk to the artist, but I wish I was able to talk to the artist a bit more and absorb the MetroCon spirit, you know? We all got there at like 10ish, and Artist Alley opened up at 12, so we had a good like 2 hours to hang about, and the first purchase of the day was a chai latte. And then we had an emergency cosplay broken. Yup, and we figured that out. And then it was time for Artist Alley. When the exhibit hall opened, my friend and I were like dashing to find this one specific Pokemon card vendor, because like Pokemon cards are hard to get nowadays. We spent like half an hour getting sidetracked and trying to find this Pokemon card vendor. The map they provided us for the exhibit hall did not help. We were lost and no one in the exhibit hall puts their table location in, so we didn't know if we were walking up the numbers or down the numbers, or horizontal or vertically. It was a whole situation. I remember the first artist that I found, I got a print by them because I already collect shiny cardboard, so I was like, dude, like look at that art, look at the holo, you know? And I don't buy prints. And when I say I don't buy prints, I mean this was like my first print ever, you know? And then I also got these little stickers, super cutie. I said I didn't buy prints. And then my second purchase was this Dragonite print. It was really cute. Dragonite is like one of those Pokemon that I like kind of forget about. Like I don't have any attachment or like dislike towards it, but I think the delivery aesthetic was cute and it looked like a stamp. I did end up coming back to the vendor again. They were my second last stop, and then I picked up the little badges of the Gen 5 starters. I was standing at this artist's booth and I turn around and I was like, oh my gosh, it's OnStars. And like, I've never seen any OnStars in real life, so the con was like super surprising. I was waiting to buy this guy as the artist was talking to a customer, and their conversation was literally, you know, it's kind of funny because like my best friend is like a Wate AP and I'm like a Shumi AP, so it was really hard to get along because, you know, like our mains literally hate each other. And like, I don't remember what the vendor said, but it was just a really funny conversation. It kept going back and forth and I was just standing there. And if you're not into OnStars, the translation of that is literally, yo, I main this person who hates the guts of this other character that my best friend mains. And that was literally it. And like, I was just kind of standing there, you know, listening. And then the artist noticed me and they're like, hey, can I help you? And I was just like, you know, can I get the HE? So here he is in all his glory. They thought it was really funny, the timing of it, and they were super nice about it. So, you know, I didn't get canceled for my choices in who I mained. Here are some guys I got from a gacha. I kind of wish I rolled another evolution because I already have something Jolteon related. And then the Miku one, I didn't listen to Mesmerizer before I got this one, but I knew where it was from. But like, yeah, I'm not mad with this one. This one's pretty cool. We got a sticker. We got a ring. Palm Harbor Library was also vending. They had a wheel you could spin, and like, I was already debating whether or not to spin it. I don't know why, it was free. And then of course I landed on the free option. Like, as if I couldn't be more indecisive already. I was gonna pick the dice, but then I saw the Pokemon cards. So I got the Pokemon cards. This won't be the first time you're seeing Pokemon cards. And most expensive purchase. I saw them last minute on the website and I wanted to find them. And when I saw them in real life, I like gasped. And then I saw the biggest tragedy of my life. Mpreg was sold out. I could hear my heart breaking. I did get the shaker. It is double-sided, which is super cool. All the tags came with the film, which is crazy because they're like so freaking tiny. And the back has a texture, which is super cool. We ran into a vendor selling omamori, and I glanced over, and it was like, bam, an entire Genshin setting. And like, the details are insane. They were super nice. The picture on the front is like of the character, and then their name on the back is in their native language. I was also on a side quest to get some Farinas for my friends. I was thinking of getting them different things. I knew I was gonna get them keychains, but like different like keychains from different artists for variety. But then I realized one of them really liked the Asian culture, so I went back and then she recognized me. And then I had to get another Farina, so I went to look around for a different keychain. But then I was just like, I couldn't find anything, so I went back to the vendor again. And then I went to go get another Farina. Here was my dinner that day at Honorable Sushi, super good. I saw this on a whim, and he was so baby, so I had to get it. I don't really see full bleed acrylics either, so I snagged him. He was a little expensive, like on the expensive side, but like it's okay, he was worth it. And I did talk with the artist a little bit. The artist talked about how much they really liked Risley and showed their little Risley collection. It was super cute. Print from this one. And then I also grabbed a Firin for my friend. I watched it recently too, and it's not bad. I should have gotten one for myself too, but also I was on a budget. So, second chance cards. This was the vendor that my friend and I were trying to find for like the first 30 minutes we were here for. These were sealed with like a card in the front, and there was like a random amount of things in the back. But I don't usually get third-party cards because it's like, commonly you're not gonna get a hit and they're just gonna get a bunch of bulk. But the vendor did say that at lowest you could get a V card and at highest get a base set, but I kind of forgot about that. I got these because they had the Radiant collection in front of them, and I was looking for Radiant collection at the time. So we went back like 2 different times, thanks to my friend for like buying me a pack. I did end up getting this Pidgeot. I think he's worth something because of the set. And then I don't remember the vendor in this one, but we were walking. This was near when the exhibit hall was going to close. We were walking on, and I saw a binder in the corner of my eye. Literally, cartoon stopped, dragged my poor friend with me. We started flipping through the binder. The binder had some like pretty good stuff too. They had a good collection of vintage and of modern. It was kind of expensive though. I remember one of the Radiant Collection cards, it was just a normal card being like $12, which is kind of crazy, but I mean, Radiant Collection's selling pretty high nowadays. But as we were flipping through this binder, I saw him, my silliest boy. I comped him before I got him, and he would have been the same price with taxes, so like, it's okay. Even though he's JP, it's okay. So around when Artist Alley was going to close, during the entire con, I had my money in like a little tin, and I was taking amounts out at a time. So I spent my $10 on the pins, which you saw earlier, and it left me with a 5. So we went to Scrabble what $5 could get me at this pin, and my last purchase of the con was this little print. Super cute. I liked how they did the colors, and the little guy reminds me of Psychico's mascot. So with all of that, my grand total at MetroCon spent was $239.26. So yeah, that was my MetroCon experience and what I sacrificed my art fight day 25 for.